Hello everyone, Howard here. I am following up my date watch videos with this Oyster Perpetual. I did feature this watch briefly in that video just to kind of show the case and bracelet compared to one of the white gold cherry dial watches in that video. But Oyster Perpetual deserves its own video, especially this particular 36mm case. Now, Oyster Perpetual has a long history. The case was developed, Oyster case was developed by Rolex in 1923. Then they, came out with the Perpetual self-winding movement caliber in 1931. So the first Oyster Perpetual watch equivalent was actually introduced in 1933, even though Rolex didn't really officially push or introduce the Oyster Perpetual as a model line until 1950. But anyway, from the first Oyster case in 1923, it's already been 100 years. Such a long history. Now, this particular one is model number 116000-70200. So it's a white grape dial. And the 116000 was basically introduced from 2008 to 2020. This particular one is a 2017 model. Now, I can't actually find, for the white grape, this particular color, how many years they made it. There's very little information available, but I know this color was in the 2017 Rolex the dial color catalog, and this is a 2017 model. But if you guys know, how many years the white grape was produced, please feel free to comment. OP, just super simple look and clean. In this case, it's the 36mm. Now, currently for the Oyster Perpetual, they have 5 different sizes: 28, 31, 34, 36, and 41. So, I feel like the 36 and 41, that's such a big gap. It would have been nice, they have a 38 or 39 in the middle, but I understand, you can't make size for every dimension. But 36mm case, the actual bezel, I measured it. The actual end of the bezel to the bezel is only 35.2, very close to 36. As with older Rolex watches, it's not very tall. It's very thin. It's only 11.8. Great sort of dress, very easy to fit under the cuff. The lug-to-lug end-to-end is 44.2. If you look at the inside of the lug, you notice the lug is like, it's not a even straight line. It's actually slightly longer on the inside tip. Right, slightly longer on the inside tip and a slightly shorter in the outside tip. So inside tip will be 44.2 end to end, and the outside is slightly shorter at 43.6. And if you include the first link, the end to end of the first link that sticks out a little bit was 45.6. Still, it's very manageable size. That's why I feel like 36mm is great for a small to mid-sized wrist. And the lug width, as with most Rolex, these sporty dress watches, 20mm, but I did measure the widest part of the bracelet is 19.6, and the skinniest part of the bracelet is 15.3. And the weight for this watch is 118.5 grams or 4.18 ounces. That is with 2 full links removed. However, this owner added a half link here. Right here is a half link. This is a full link. This is a half link. The issue with these watches, it doesn't have an easy, the easy link adjustment. So you only have, the 3 divots inside, 1, 2, 3, 3 divots for you to adjust. So to get the perfect size fit is a little bit difficult. That's why, the half link availability is actually great. If you can get a half link, that will make the fit a little bit better. But again, I mean, the highlight or the attention of this watch is the dial. You know, the 2017 model year 36mm model didn't have a lot of color options. There, I think I was able to find 4. This white grape, then there's a red grape, it's more of a purple, a silverish color, and the blue color. 4 different colors. So I haven't seen this color too often. Obviously, it's not on the current 36mm. Current 36, I think, has about 7 colors, but it's more traditional, black, blue, green, silver, but there's no such, white grape. It's a beautiful color. I'm inside right now, indoor, without indoor lighting, just natural lighting coming out of the window. I'll do an outside wrist shot at the end of the video so you can see this beautiful sunlight. Right now I'm sort of tilted towards the lighting, the window area, so you can see a little bit better. It's a sunburst white grape dial, but the color, I would say, in the indoor, in the shade, it's kind of like a light beige, has tiny bit of a pink, but it's mostly a light beige color. But under the sun, you will feel it's a little bit darker with some, copper look. It's really beautiful. I think the color is not quite as yellow as some of the, salmon colors, really strong yellow orange type. Yet it's more, it's a very refined in the middle color. Overall, as you're familiar with most of the OPs, so this is the domed bezel, smooth, polished. And the shoulder is, sort of a nickel finish, non-polished. The side, as always, it's generally polished with a crown. So this is the screw down twin lock crown. And the bracelet, and I love the Oyster bracelet. And particularly the Oyster Perpetual, it has nickel finish on all 3 links. I understand most Rolex, this type of sporty, dressy, not a pure sports, but sporty, dressy, has the polished center link. I think those only look good on certain Rolex watches, but I would always prefer a non-polished center link, especially for a more sporty 3-hand Oyster Perpetual. I just feel like it just looks so much nicer without the shiny, polished center links. Again, it's the 904L steel. It's very solid stainless steel. It's as I mentioned, the domed bezel, solid and solid links for the bracelet, and the locking clasp is just a single swing, very simple. But again, it feels very solid, very strong, very well built. When you click it, feels very secure. The Oyster Perpetual they have the signature embossed Rolex crown on the clasp. Back of the watch, again, it's the traditional Rolex with nothing on there. Again, as I mentioned, there's no easy link, so you have this 3 divots on this side, maybe a little bit hard because of the, there's one right now. So the watch is currently connected to the center link, center of the 3 divots. So overall, I feel like it's a really good watch. Again, it is the most affordable, if you will. I think the current retail price is $6,100. But in my view, for people who just want a simple 3-hand, who don't need a date complication, I mean, this is perfect. They do have the two baton or indexes, 2 pieces of indexes at the 3, 6, 9. Some people like that. Some people would prefer a single. I mean, that's personal preference with a crown there. All of these are obviously, I think, white gold edges, the hand, the crown. It's all white gold. Very nice. I mean, I think for people who want a simple 3-hand, this 36 millimeter is great for a small to mid wrist. If you've got a larger wrist, certainly there's a 41 millimeters available. And I don't quite, I don't think this is sort of the cheapest Rolex, because, people who can spend this kind of money on OP, honestly, they can easily afford a Datejust, the stainless steel version of the Datejust. There's no question about that. Of course, the date videos I did, those are precious metal, right? The cheapest date currently starting at 35,000, which is quite a big jump for a lot of folks. But this OP just looks really, really nice, and it's very simple design. Oyster Perpetual, Rolex Oyster Perpetual, superlative chronometer, officially certified, Swiss made. Then I also like this generation. They have this 5, 10, 15, the number next to the index. And this generation also, I think depending on the size, it doesn't have a dot next to, instead of the number, some of these have a dot. I personally don't like that at all because the dot color is usually a different color than the dial color. It's a little bit of distraction to me. I think this is the more seamless, smooth design without the dot, square dot at the end of the index. Just put a little number, make it look a little bit more sporty. Okay, let's put the watch on the wrist. My wrist is 6.5 inches, 16.5 centimeters. I would say it's a bit more on the lower end of the mid size. I think 36 millimeters, like I said on my date video. It just looks proper. Especially now it's the winter. If you're gonna wear a dress shirt to work with a sweatshirt outside, it's gonna look much easier to fit. I think the size is great. 36. Again, it's not very thick. It's 11.8. It's the right height. That's what I appreciate about the Rolex watches. Now their watches are ultra thick unless you want to go the ultra deep sea. It just looks proper. Very beautiful. I'll go outside a little bit later. Today is actually a nice sunny day. Try to take an outside shot of the wrist so you can see the actually sunburst. Sun ray dial a little bit more closer under bright sun. Right now indoor it's more of a beige color. All right, I'm outside right now in the direct sunlight. Just try to show you guys a more outside view. You can see the ray reflecting off the dial. Again, the ray is not crazy bright, and the width of the brighter piece is not super wide. But it's very visible, very clear. You can see it. Towards the angle. This is the best way. This is the best angle. I can barely see on my screen because it's so bright. But hopefully you can see beautiful white grape sun ray dial. All right, this is the Rolex 116000. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.